So we're here with Cian McDonnell of Team Sweetness. And what did you do today?
I went undefeated.
Undefeated in a 5-round locals Gamers World. And what were you playing?
I was playing Branded Despia Branded.
Nice. Okay, do you want to start into the profile?
Yeah, so we'll do starters first.
Sure.
So this is the heart and soul of the deck.
The one card, the one instant fusion.
One instant fusion ends on minimum 4 interruptions if they don't hand trap you.
Yeah.
And then I play 3 of these. Originally I was only playing 1, but there's an addition to the Predaplant package that I made that allows me to essentially go into Millennium Mars.
Oh, nice.
Using this. I can explain at the end. If
Yeah, we can go through it. If you want to do, you can do sample hand or whatever. I don't mind.
Yeah, and then this, it literally just normal summon it, discard, search instant fusion.
Search instant fusion straight away, yeah. Or any fusion cards.
Yeah, so if you're in if you're going second, you might search Branded Fusion instead.
Yeah.
Or if you've already gone through this, you might search Branded Fusion. And then you should know what this does by now.
Yeah, I think everybody knows what Aluber, the Boober, Tuber does. Yeah.
You could technically, if you made a different build of this where you played less Despian monsters, you could probably only play 1. But because of the Despia lineup I play 2.
Yeah.
It is a lot of normal summons, but it's a 45 card deck, and you just need 1 normal summon.
And I mean, you can special summon that as well off of ambulance.
That's true.
So.
And then 3 Branded Fusion.
Yeah. Nice.
Opening to get Aluber.
Yep.
Foolish, you'll see the target soon enough.
Yeah.
You can either search this or search this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sure. I think I can see where you're going with it.
And then for the other stuff, so this is the Predaplant package.
Yeah, so that's Ophilicula, Cumulus Sundew, Biblis, Darting Cobra, Romarin, and Predaplant. Nice. Okay.
So this is mandatory.
Yep.
Even the builds that play really small packages, they always play this and this. Basically the thing is, you use Branded Fusion, you make Albion using this.
Send a light, yeah.
Yeah, and then this guy sends this, this searches this, and then you fuse away your Albion with this and make Dragus Apelia or something.
Nice.
And you have to play this because this bridges your Predaplant engine into your Branded engine.
Yeah,
because you just summon this off of the fusion.
Yep.
And then you search Branded Fusion. And then this card, it allows you to go into the Predaplant level 5 fusion with Scorpio without having to use instant fusion.
Okay.
So it means that you can go Scorpio, discard, summon this guy, use him and Scorpio, make the level 5. And 5 will search this or this, depending on what you have. And then you can tribute the guy, summon this. You can add instant fusion if you already have Branded Fusion, or you just add Branded Fusion.
Okay.
So if you already have Branded Fusion, let's say you open opening hard open a Branded Fusion, which happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
You can just search instant fusion, and instant fusion can make Millennium Mars.
Oh, even Millennium Mars as well. Okay.
Yeah, so
Very
that
good.
just stops Ash. It means that your Branded Fusion
is guaranteed to go off. Yeah.
Can't get Ash. So that's really strong. And then if you have opening engrave, you can also protect your Millennium Mars, so that.
Oh, so it stays on the field.
So it's interruption on your opponent's turn as well.
Yeah.
So I did that against a Salad player, normal summon Gazelle, and I just Millennium Mars in the game and took it.
Nice. Because once you get rid of their normal summon, they can't do much.
Yeah. This is really the only hard brick of the deck. You draw this, you can't do the regular combo.
Okay.
This card is pretty nice. It guarantees you have a really solid interruption against sprites, even if you get Dark Rulers. It sends for cost, and then you can put a credit counter on all monsters in the field. So all the opponent's monsters become level 1. So against sprites or whatever, it's pretty good.
I can say I got hit by it today. It was really rough.
And also, what's really important, I don't play Mystic Mind in the main.
Sure.
But I played this to out Mystic Mind.
Oh yeah, because it sends banish from grave.
So you can banish yourself from grave when I fusion summon, and then pop a card in the field. So it's an out to Mystic Mind.
Nice.
And I can fusion without using monster effects.
Yeah. Very good.
And then I play, this is the small, this is
the rest of the Despian engine,
This thing is mandatory because you use the play with Albion and Predaplanting.
Yeah.
You summon back the Albion that was hard made, and you go into a guy, and then Predaplanting pops the card. These are the package I chose to play for Despia.
Oh, you went with Dramaturge as well, okay.
Yeah, see, normally the standard is Ad Libitum, this guy, and Brandon Red.
Yeah.
What this means is if you open just Aliber and like no other like starters, extenders, whatever, like let's say Aliber and the 4 hand traps.
Yeah.
It means you can end on the Mirror Jade, the combo where you go and use this to make a Guardian Chimera.
Yeah.
And search with this, and then normally at Libitum will summon back the Mirror Jade.
Yeah.
But in this case, it would summon back this.
Yeah.
And the reason I opted to play this over at Libitum, it's mainly because of its interaction with a branded opening. So like, if I go on second against the board, let's say I'm going against Sprite, and I have like a Toad on board, I can use opening, summon out this guy, and then bait out the Toad negate, and then when they revive the Toad, this guy can trade with the Toad that they summon back because it gets triggered to negate. And also it allows an interruption through debagger.
Okay.
So and then additionally, there's some like normally Mirror Jade would be better to summon back at Libitum, but this card actually does something on its own. Like if I hard fuse with this, like just to make like Masquerade, I don't have any prior setup. This still is an interruption.
It still has something,
But at Libitum, it's just it doesn't really do anything. And also this can help push the game as well. I think
your logic's really sound on it, because you need so much extra along with ad-lib, whereas that kind of does a lot on its own, so that's really good.
And so this is why I play 2 Alibers, because like you go first Aliber, search Branded Fusion, Branded Fusion send this, send Albaz, discard Rebellion, make Mirror Jade, and then Mirror Jade banish Aliber, set this in end phase, and then you do this.
And then add that to hand.
This will add this. So you do this in hand, and you go Branded Red. Actually, I'll put it upside down here. So you go Branded Red, target this in grave, add to hand, banish these three, including the Mirror Jade.
To make Chimera.
And then this summons back itself. This searches out the second Aliber.
So you've more to go next turn,
so if you only played 1 Aliber, it wouldn't make any sense, because there'd be nothing to search all this.
Cool.
And then obviously play this.
2 Albaz, okay.
You could play 3, but I just don't think it's necessary. Like you can, if you manage the resources correctly, you can get away with 2. And you play Branded Red too, so it's like
if you get it back anyway. Not too bad.
And then hand trap lineup, 3 Ash. It's still really good.
Really strong.
3 Ogre for Sprite mainly.
And
then I play 3 Crow. It works quite well against Sprite targeting the Roman Toad.
It's insane.
And also it's very strong against tier limits. I've actually done a lot against tier limits, so it's really nice.
Because they have to use their own monsters as the fusion material, so
it's really nice because like it works against so many other matches as well. Like against Eldritch, I was able to get 2 Golden Lord banished using it, so that kind of sealed the deal.
I hope you won that game.
I drew.
Which you won that game. That you did that in.
Because they know Golden Lords. Sometimes you might use this as a light target for Albion if you're Romero.
It's not the worst idea in the world,
So it's good to normally play at least one other light other than Romero. And then
do you not play Snow, actually?
No.
Okay,
because you'd never send Snow, you always send Romero. Unless you already have Romero, but it's like a one-off, like what's the chance of you like opening it?
Surprisingly, I would say, but No, I think you're it's fair. And then Imperm, good one.
Imperm, it's
Imperm.
Like I've considered like Nib, I considered Droll, but like they're just kind of not really reliable against like Sprite and tier limits.
I think the good thing with Imperm is you can out floodgates as well by setting it and just waiting.
You can top deck of Return, it's still useful.
And that too,
and then for hand trap protection, I play
Sure.
I play triple
crossout. And 2 crossout. Okay.
Obviously, Ash on Branded Fusion, if you can't set up Millennium Eyes, is like really, really strong. It's like the bottleneck of the deck. So you really want to have these kind of cards to stop that.
You want your Branded Fusion to resolve.
It also stops like any other of these hand traps.
You play enough of them, right? So that's fine.
And it also it's extremely good in the mirror match. And I know at locals there's like a good few people who play like branded variants.
Branded something,
like branded tournament or maybe even pure branded. Like last week I played against pure branded, and you just use on fusion and they're just like they can't even call by it.
Really solid. And the final card, which also goes with one of the other ones.
I just play one of these just for this.
For Dark Ruler,
I can hard draw it, and then it's if I go on second, then it's
I mean,
grand.
you're laughing at that stage.
It's just the main reason is because a lot of people are maining this for like sprites, so it makes sense to just have one in just for this. So like if you set up your board and they haven't like hand trapped you, just set this and they go Dark Ruler, you call Dark Ruler, and then they have to actually out your board.
Have you ever had a situation where you have to make the choice between like, okay, if I let this go through, you have cross out in hand, you let this go through because you think they might have Dark Ruler as well, or they might be meaning Dark Ruler?
That didn't come up today.
Okay, cool.
I only added this today, so
haven't had that situation. No bother. We do extra first, next,
Yeah.
Cool.
So these are the broken tokens.
Oh, hang on, I didn't get a good look at them.
So pretty easy to make.
I think the pendulum token is just like really nice.
Yeah, they have nice colors.
Yeah.
So then,
good old monkey boards. Didn't really do anything since it's been unbanned, does it?
Yeah, I used to always top deck this when I played the deck.
Notorious for top decking it.
So then for the branded, I play 3 Albion,
sure,
one of these, 1 Libellion, and 2 Mirror Jade.
Yeah.
So 2 Mirror Jade is pretty standard.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I think the 3 Albion is maybe the only thing, but like I think it's you're summoning that way more than a Libellion anyway. In
Pure, you'd normally play 2 of these, but in this build, you don't really go into that much. So it's like you only need to play 1.
Is it like a turn? It's like a maybe second of your turns where you'd make that.
Yeah,
you always make Albion
like
first.
A turn 3 sort of card.
Yeah.
Or sometimes if you open a bit weird and you can't like get an extract monster into the graveyard before making this, you go into this and then you discard like whatever and then make it that way.
Yeah.
Which isn't as good, but it's still like it's an option.
Not too bad. And then he's obviously for Dragon Link and searching anything.
Well, mainly it's like
to set up your next turn, like
it's like shuffle back resources. Like against Eldritch, for example, I had like one of these banished, one of them engraved. I added Albaz.
Oh, to shuffle back the Albions and stuff.
And I had another Albaz engraved as well. And then I went activate Branded Fusion, and then I made Libellion, and then I discarded with Libellion, shuffle back Libellion, the Albion, the 2 Albaz, and then the other Albion to make this with 5 attacks. So. So then it just gets your resources back. Helps you outgrind like certain decks.
I'd never thought of that. Yeah, because it's restricted on Branded Fusion. You can only send 2 monsters, but okay, cool.
Yeah, very good. Also, if you're using 2 Mirror Jades effects on 1 turn, which doesn't normally happen, but sometimes
this is basically basically the same.
You can send like 1 of each.
Yeah. Nice.
And then you play 3 because you do need 3.
Yeah.
You summon 1 on your first turn.
Yeah.
You send 1 to the grave on your opponent's turn, and then turn 3 you summon this to make a big push.
Nice.
So then I play.
Okay.
What were you saying?
I was about to say, is it all fusions? I was just
Yeah, it's all fusions.
Okay, cool.
I play 1 Guardian Chimera.
Good
you don't
cards.
need as much in this version. Like you only.
It's not like Edge and Chain nonsense, you know.
It's kind of like if you're pushing for game, you summon it or turn it out something or whatever.
Cool.
The funny thing is with Gamma Prevalent, you can actually do this on turn 1 sometimes.
Well, oh, hang on.
Because it needs to have a monster on the field.
Because it's Poly. You summon with Poly. No, you don't play Poly.
You summon it with either Brandon Reds or the Pendulum, because he's a spell.
Okay. Are you allowed to do that? Okay. I knew there was one of them you weren't allowed.
Yeah, when they're in the monster zone, they're monsters. When they're in Pendulums,
that one's. I think that one's okay.
Yeah, it's this one it was
the other one.
Yeah, so
I just remember it came up in I think it was PAX video or something as well.
Yeah, so like if you're going, even if you're going first, you can still make this and pop a Gamma or something and draw 2 and hope that you get Branded Fusion maybe if if you open a bad hand or something.
Yep.
And then I play one of these. It's for, as I explained before, to stop Ash.
Stop Ash, yeah.
You can also use it going against boards going second if you go Instant Fusion. If they try to activate a Toad or something, or they activate Chi-Shao, you chain to suck it up and negate it.
Nice.
One thing you have to be careful of is if you negate a hand trap that you have in hand, it can sometimes be a bit iffy. Because if I'm not mistaken,
it stops you from.
It's both players.
So, okay.
So you can't you have to be careful with that sometimes.
Okay.
And then this guy, the Heart and Soul of the deck, he's the reason Instant Fusion is a Woodcry combo.
Yeah.
You summon this, so it's a standard combo would be you go Instant Fusion, summon this,
yeah,
search Predaplanting, Uses effect, sends to grave, summon out the guy that searches the fusion
Or
spell.
Scorpio, isn't it? Yeah.
It's
Oh
Darling
no, the other
Cobra.
one. You go straight to Darling Cobra. Okay.
Yeah, because Scorpio just gets rid of a card in hand for no reason.
Yeah, I suppose.
So you just go for Darling Cobra. Darling Cobra searches Branded Fusion.
Yeah.
You activate Branded Fusion to send Romarian and Albion. Or sorry, Albaz.
Yeah.
And then make this.
Yeah.
Romarian sends the level 1
Yeah.
Predaplant.
And you get to keep your Albion in fields as well, right?
Yeah, because you banish this from grave with the Albaz.
Which is really
to make,
nice.
this.
Yeah.
And then you use the level 1 to search the pendulum. And then you use the...
And then you can fuse it to Albion to get it into grave.
Yeah,
So you don't even need to send it. Yeah.
You can fuse it to make... like,
It's a way less linear than the normal branded version, where you have to like banish your own Aluber.
in the normal one,
you know.
in the normal one, to get this kind of combo, you need to have Edge and Chain. But this does it with like literally just one card.
Yeah. It's really solid.
So like then you get you have Predaplanting, you have Branded Banishment, you have like this guy.
Oh, Dragus Savelia.
So like
It's another format defining card.
yeah, so
Makes them level 1.
it gives a card of Predacount counter.
Yep.
Monster Predacount counters become level 1.
Yep.
And then it also, while he is on the field and his effects not negated or anything,
Yep.
activate effects of monsters with Predacount counters are negated.
Yeah.
So that works really nicely.
It's closer to a skill drain than an imperm. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it works really nicely with Predaplanting because
It gives everything counters.
yeah, if you just have this in the field and they like have like loads of guys, you can just go Predaplanting. All their guys have counters. They can all become level 1. They all have their activated effects negated.
Yeah.
So it's like really strong against like Sword Soul or even
Kill
like
Sprite.
Sprite.
Kill
yeah.
Sprite.
Yeah.
Like literally, like kills the deck dead if they can do this.
And then what's great is that you can, after you use like both of these, you can go Banishment, revive this from grave that you hard made.
Yeah.
And then you can like banish like these two or these two. And then make like another one of
Another
these.
one, yeah.
This banishes itself from grave to pop a card, and he has still have this card.
Yeah.
So like,
Unreal.
if you're able to if you use banishment to banish, because you use both players side of the field.
Yeah.
So if you banish like a dark, like giant sprite or something, this instant fusion can technically end on 6 interruptions.
Yeah.
By itself.
What's the budget like for this kind of deck? So far it seems like fairly manageable.
It's no sprite.
I think it's pretty it's somewhat budget at least, right? If you were to modify your if you had Branded Despia in the previous format, this would not be the worst idea.
Oh no! If you had Branded Despia, this is not expensive to pick up.
No.
Like literally, because all these cards
obviously crossouts are like 25 each.
Yeah,
and
you
then
probably
Ash
already
Blossoms
play
and
it
stuff, but you might already have it.
Yeah, you probably already play it if you're playing like Branded Despia.
Yeah.
You probably have hand traps. Like picking up the Predaplant stuff is not expensive.
No, it's not.
It's just really cheap.
You can probably find it in the bins at your local game store, to be honest.
And then we play Masquerade. Obviously,
one Masquerade. Okay.
It helps if it's like close to time and you want to limit your opponent's actions.
Yeah. They can, they'll burn themselves to death nearly.
It's also a really nice generic thing to go for.
I mean, it comes back as well. That's the other thing.
Yeah, so it's it's kind of super polyproof.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't you can summon it back after it gets super poly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if you have like a Brandon Red, you can keep materials on the field for Chimera play.
Yeah. Nice.
And then I also play Starring Venom. It's mainly...
So I'm assuming you've got Super Poly somewhere. No?
Well, that's not the entire reason. See,
okay. Banishment actually.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's very easy to make this. You can make it with the Predaplant Monster that fusions. You can make it with the Predaplant Pendulum that fusions. You can make it with Banishment. You can also make it with Brandon Red, but as long as you only use the one from hand.
Yeah.
It makes you able to out towers.
Nice.
I just use it to against one guy who was playing Alagnister. I was able to bait out his the guy in grave that negates.
Yeah.
He used Dimensional Barrier. I crossed out the Dimensional Barrier, and then I was able to make this and beat over his towers and still have a hand trap for interruption. So this is pretty useful. Yeah. And that's kind of the Mary Jade effect when it does.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of nice. And then this is a new edition. I took out Ash Dragon for this.
Starving Predapower. Okay.
So I noticed a lot of people are starting to play cards evenly.
Okay.
It makes it so your board doesn't lose the evenly. Because when they enter battle phase, you activate your planning.
Yeah.
Send from deck to grave for cost. Put a Predacount on all monsters in the field.
Yeah.
Including your own. So then you go Banishment, revive the Albion, use the Albion on, let's say, either the Predaplant guy or the Mary Jane, whichever you which, and then make this guy And then this guy can tribute a monster with a Predacounter, including your opponents, to negate the activation of a card effect.
Oh, so you can negate the...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you can just negate evenly with it.
Nice.
And then when it gets destroyed, you can revive a dark monster from your graveyard. So you can revive like a Mirror Jade or whatever.
That's really useful.
And
I've
also,
not seen too many people play this.
yeah, and also like if your opponent has like 2 fusion on the field, if one of them's dark, you can just go banish them and revive like a Alibur or something. Fuse both their monsters for this, and Alibur will get this effect because it wasn't fused away.
Okay, cool.
So that's the extra deck.
Very nice. Very well thought out, you know.
Yeah, I've been playing it for like ever since I saw the Cian pack list. I've been like playing with the deck, so like I'm just trying to figure out what's like the best line
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And then the side deck.
You don't have to show it if you don't want.
I'll show it.
Yeah, okay, sure.
The viewers want to see it.
Gamma! The viewers do want to see it, of course they do. Okay, Gamma, sure.
So I play a Gamma package. It just gives another hand trap to side in against decks like Sprite.
Yeah.
It's really generic, so like you can actually side in for like most decks.
Do you side in going first?
If I have cards I really want to take out, I would.
Okay,
just
sure.
if I go like if I have weird hands where I just go Mana Fusion and I don't cross or anything and they ash, I can just go Gamma on that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of useful. And then the Gammas in the deck are still useful after you resolve this because you can just send
They're
it for
lights.
Albions.
Yeah, they're lights, yeah. Very good.
And also the materials in the field you can use for Chimera, which is kind of nice.
Yes.
And then I have the other 2 Dark Rulers on the side.
Okay, good,
Just for going second against Sprites.
Yep.
I only saw it once today, again in actually any games. It was against Sprites, but it was close to time, so I couldn't
You wanted
use
to
it.
kill them,
I just had
yeah.
to like do damage with Masquerade.
Yeah.
So I actually didn't get to resolve it.
I've been in that situation before. You're just looking at it going, I can clear your board, but I really want to kill you.
Yeah, never draw for some reason. And then I just play these for back row decks.
Okay, Feather Duster, Treat and Twister, and Reboot. Yeah.
So-
I mean, do you get effect off Biblist with that?
Yes.
You do. So
It doesn't work with Tragedy, but it does work with
yeah,
Biblist.
that's fine. You're usually alright at that stage.
Pretty nice. It doesn't work with Romarian, unfortunately. Romarian's like Tragedy, where it has to
Oh,
be sent by
same.
card
Yeah.
effects.
Okay. Sure.
But yes,
At that stage, it's a 2-for-1 anyways. Most of the time, you know.
and you can discard like openings and stuff to get like protection and graveyard and
Yep.
things like that.
Cool.
So this one, so there's kind of an overlap with the sides. So obviously these are for like a deck like Trap Eldritch.
Yeah.
But then against, let's say,
When people are citing anti-spell, right? It's like
yeah, for anti-spell these would go in, and then sometimes I might just put in this. For
Is that for like
D-Buyer
going first or
second.
something? Oh, going second.
D-Buyer going
Okay.
second.
Sure.
Just because like D-Buyer like just shuts down the deck.
Yeah.
You just have to go maybe draw Dramaturge and hope for the best.
Yeah,
or maybe
yeah.
you hard do this, then that's you can like use that as interruption.
Yeah.
But like D-Buyer really like shuts down the deck,
Yeah.
and so like that's why I also have
You
it as
played-
a crossout target.
Oh, you just played a 1 as a crossout target.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Because the deck wins going first.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It never like. It's only times when I've misplayed or like my opponent's open like complete bonkers
Yeah.
that I've like lost going first with just the regular combo. Because like.
The combo is really
If,
strong.
for example, hypothetically, let's say you go instant fusion, and you have like, let's say you have like the standard instant fusion combo, they all have hand traps.
Yeah.
Then you have like 4 other cards in your hand to work with, and I play a lot of hand traps, so one of them's bound to be a hand trap. So that's those minimum 4 interruptions from my guys in the field, and the hand trap to deal with it. So it's like it's upward of 5 interruptions, minimum 4.
Nice.
So like you don't really need much cards for going first, but I sometimes I put it in just if I draw it, I draw it.
Yeah.
So these would be like for D-Bar specifically,
Yeah.
and then this card, I side this in against Flunder because it means that I go standby phase, Twister on their field spell and their trap,
Yeah.
assuming they have 1 trap set.
Which they probably do, yeah.
And that means that I can just normal summon any of my normal summon guys and beat over the
and beat over
beat
Wind
over
Barrier,
the barrier statue and then activate Branded
because they're all
Fusion.
really big. Like Hunter is 1800 as well, isn't he?
Yeah. So like
So Oliver and
these
Hunter,
guys are 12.
12 is fine as well.
I probably wouldn't be using this though.
Yeah. If
These
you get
guys are
stuck, you're still
18.
okay though.
Yeah, and then I have this to search, this to normal summon it.
Yeah.
So like, and I have this to search, send Tragedy or Bliss to like.
Oh yeah,
the
okay.
thing. So tragedy gets.
Assuming you don't get shifted,
Yeah, but I can still shifter on with this.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
it still technically deals with it. It's just like
It's where the number normal summons really crops up, and it's
Yeah.
useful to have that many, you know.
But like technically, this plus Aliber still deals their board under shifter because you just tragedy still gets effective. You get Spanish, so like you just
Yeah, true.
send that for Lebellion, shuffle back the banished materials, make Mirror Jades or Drexopelia,
yeah,
and then tragedy search, and then you just can't use Mirror Jades effect. That's the only thing on that turn.
yeah.
And then
But you still get an advantage off it. It's insane. So
yeah, and then this also for Flunderers.
Oh, okay. Someone really doesn't like Flunder.
It's just I want to have like 5 cards for Flunder.
Yeah,
'Cause, like,
that's fair.
It means like it works out best in a 40 card deck, this ratio, but it means that like you open at least one without seeing doubles.
Oh yeah, forgot to ask how many are you playing?
Which?
How many cards are you playing in your main?
Oh, 45.
45. Okay.
So I was originally playing close to 40, but I wanted more starters and more hand traps.
Yeah.
And I added in both to make the deck more consistent.
Okay.
Because statistically,
Made the deck more consistent by adding more
like,
cards.
If I have more cards in the deck, I'm less likely to see this.
The Romarin and
This guy.
stuff. Oh, that guy
I'm
as
less
well.
likely to
Yeah.
see this guy, which is I do not want to draw this.
No.
And I'm more likely to see both starters and hand traps because I've upped the numbers of both of those.
Yeah. That's
So
fair.
it's like technically making my deck more consistent by playing more cards in my deck.
Sure.
Base
Okay.
strategy.
Yeah.
So this works as Flunders, also doubles against Agnister.
It's everything. Like
Yeah, it's just powers decks.
It's a big like kaijus are handy to out
It's
something.
nice to like just have them there, just like Kaiju or like Agnister.
Yeah.
and then-
Because I'm assuming you can't afford your normal summon, no. Like you could go for like a lava. No, well, it wouldn't work against the wind
like the
barrier.
whole deck is like normal summon. and
Yeah, I
everything.
suppose. Yeah.
And you play too many normal summons as well.
Yeah.
And then this is like
One
kinda-
super volley.
so it's searchable off the Cobra.
Okay, yeah, I suppose. So
you
you
can-
only need one, yeah.
Yeah, so it's search.
If you're going first, you search it and you're sorted.
I might make a few changes to the deck and main deck, maybe one of these or maybe a couple of these, depending on what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So like you can basically just search off this.
Sure.
And if you don't think they have hand traps, let's say they're playing tournaments and they probably don't have hand traps.
Yeah.
Instead of searching Instant Fusion, if you already have Branded Fusion, you can search this.
Yeah.
So it means it's like an interruption for your opponent's turn. You can just like fuse away their guys. And
Yeah,
like,
makes them
whatever.
fearful of committing over too much.
Yeah, and you can also like summon this going second if you get that far, and then search this and just like
Secret Super Boy looks gorgeous as well.
It's the only secret.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was looking at your Albions, and I was like, man, we need to get you some ultras or something. But yeah, thank you very much for the profile. Any shout outs or anything else like that?
Shout outs to Team Sweetness. Yeah.
They've been helping you a lot with our deck testing and stuff.
Well, I haven't.
What, you've been
they haven't-
sweeping locals? Sweeping locals on your own with it.
Yeah, they're not very active at the moment. You could probably tell by the channel. Hopefully they'll start like getting back into the game. Maybe when Sprite tournament format is like kind of winding down. But yeah.
Woo! Cheers, Cian.